Good day, class. This is our presentation on reduplication. So if you are unaware of what reduplication is, you'll find this presentation to be most helpful. So stay tuned. So on to our objectives. By the end of the lesson, students should be able to define the term reduplication, differentiate between the three types of reduplication, whilst providing examples, and lastly, to state whether reduplication is a feature in Jamaican Creole and Jamaican English. I will now hand over to Miss Comrie.
So, let's take a look at reduplication. Reduplication is a word formation process in which a part of a word or the entire word is repeated to express meaning. Oftentimes, an entirely new word is formed. The word being reduplicated is referred to as the base, and the result of the reduplication, the reduplicant. As you can see in the example, fancy would be the base form, and fancy would be the reduplicant. You may be wondering, why is reduplication important? Why do I need to learn it? What if I told you reduplication isn't some foreign concept? Hold on, let me explain. Have you ever heard a baby say dada instead of daddy, mama instead of mommy? Sounds familiar, right? Well, these are actually reduplications. And chances are you probably shortened your words or reduplicated your words like that when you were a baby too. Reduplication is a language acquisition process in children. This means babies reduplicate these simple syllables because they are unable to produce the more complex ones. So when babies start to form more polysyllabic words correctly and more frequently, the number of reduplications in their speech begin to decrease. Then they start talking like the big kids. But wait, that's not all. Reduplication could also be described as expressive language. It is used in nursery rhymes. For instance, think about a sentence you would probably hear in a nursery rhyme. It would be something like this. The choo-choo train went around the block. In that sentence, the choo-choo would be the reduplicant. It is also used in poetic language. Reduplication may function as a sound device in poetry, namely onomatopoeia. Think about the splish-splash of the water, the ding-dong of the bell. Reduplications are also used in everyday speech. Can you think of any? The types of reduplication. There are three types of reduplication. The first one is simple repetition. This is a total reduplication in which the entire word is repeated. Example, bling bling, yum yum. The next is vowel alternation. This is a partial reduplication in which the vowel sound in each base is changed. Example, dilly dally. Here you can see the I is changed to an A, and we also have bing bong. The third one is initial sound change. This is a partial reduplication in which there's a change in the onset consonant while the remainder of the base remains the same. This produces a rhyming effect. Example, lovey-dovey and walkie-talkie. I'll now hand over to Miss DeMarcado.
Is reduplication a feature in Jamaican Creole and Jamaican English? For short, we have JC there and JE respectively. Reduplication is a widespread linguistic process. Hence, it is a feature of English which is used to signify more expressive tone or figurative speech. It's often used for morphological or syntactic reasons. So let me just put this in layman terms for you. Reduplication, it's universal. It's a feature of English, and what it is often used is to express or rather place emphasis on something. So hence why you have the repetition of words. Now in Jamaican Creole, likewise, reduplication is also found. So reduplication is a typical feature of Creole languages, and of course this extends to Jamaican Creole since it is of course a Creole. What we find in Jamaican Creole is that the type that is often displayed is simple repetition, where we have the base, or rather the entire word, being repeated. In Jamaican Creole, the reduplication results in reduplicant being identical to the base, since of course it is being repeated. And likewise, it is done to place emphasis. So, examples of reduplication in Jamaican Creole. So, the first one is freed. Not fried, freed. Um, and here we have freed being an adjective. So, to place emphasis, we have freed, also an adjective, which means very afraid. So we don't really have the meaning being changed so much. What we are doing instead is emphasizing the base word. Other examples that we have is fool. The reduplicant of that would be fool. And there we go again, extremely foolish. So not changing the meaning of the word per se, but what we're doing rather is adding emphasis. So here we have another word type, not an adjective, but we have some verbs. So chat, and there we would have chatty. But you notice that there is something different. Not so much a difference in the meaning. Still meaning chat, talk, talkative somewhat. However, we notice that there is a shift in the grammatical function of the reduplicant. So it's no longer a verb, but instead an adjective. So chatty, someone who is very talkative. And we have the verb laugh, adjective, being laughy, and that is reduplicant there. Similar thing. So what this is now describing is someone who loves to laugh. Laugh is still there. The context still remains where laugh is still there. However, we have a change in the grammatical function. So, we notice something going on. Let us take a look at these sentences. So, sentences with reduplicated terms. So we're going to be putting some reduplicated terms in sentences. The first one, Freddy. And when we put that in a sentence, it would be in Freddy bad. Translation for that would be he's fearful or timid. Another sentence that we have is them too licky, would translate to they are too greedy. Another sentence, the man chatty, which translates to the man is very talkative. I will now hand over to our other presenter, Miss Johnson.
There's English have reduplication? Yes, it does. Does Eng- Here are some examples of reduplication in English. Wishy-washy, an adjective which means lacking in strength. Nitty-gritty, this is a noun which means essentials. Okie dokie, an interjection, and this means an informal way of saying okay. Chit chat, a verb which means gossip. Now, let's take a look at these sentences that contain reduplicated terms in Jamaican English. The guy looks wishy-washy. Let us sit and chit-chat for a while. Okie dokie, Pam. Alrighty, class, let us have a recap. So, what is reduplication? Reduplication is a feature in which the base or the whole word is repeated. And what are the three types of reduplication? Simple reduplication, where the stem of the word is repeated. An example of this is goody goody. Vowel alternation, this is a type of reduplication where the vowel sound in each stem or base is changed. For example, chit chat. The I becomes A. Initial sound change. This is a process where the onset consonant changes while the remainder of the base does not change. An example of this is okie dokie. Is reduplication a feature in JC and JE? Yes, reduplication is present in both languages. It is used to signify a more expressive or figurative speech. And this takes us to the end of our presentation. Bye bye.
Good day, class. This is our presentation on reduplication. So if you are unaware,